Howdy everyone. Today's episode I'll be showing y'all my 1959 Chevy Spartan 100 winch truck that I picked up a little over a month ago. Now I've known about this truck for about a year and a half, and finally a few months ago I decided to jump on it and buy it. It was a pretty good deal. It came with a title and 2 keys, which I thought was absolutely crazy for a truck like this. Has a big Hobbs work bed on it. There's a Ramsey winch that comes with it. Now at the moment this truck doesn't run. Hasn't ran in about 3 years or so. Let's see here. 348 big block. Truck has air brakes, but the compressor is not hooked up to anything. The distributor is out because the guy was going to work on it, then he injured himself, so he kind of put it off to the side. The doors are surprisingly easy to open. I've already been slowly taking apart a couple small pieces out of the cab. Seat is definitely in bad condition, but that can be reupholstered. The doors, really solid. Now, as I mentioned, Hobbs bed out of Fort Worth. A couple of saddle tanks. This door is also real good. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. A lot of knobs and switches in here. I've been taking off the kick panels, which are in surprisingly good condition because usually the bottom end there is completely rusted away. Has a 5-speed Spicer in it, and all kinds of levers for the winch. Gonna do a lot of rewiring with that bird's nest down there. Goes with a heater. So I need to get a vacuum in here and clean this truck out. A lot of trash back there. Apparently they took the fuel tank out, because even though this has saddle tanks, this truck would have came with one that would have been larger than a regular pickup style fuel tank. And this door closes real good as well. Now overall the truck is in amazing condition, because usually these things get used and abused and then sent to the scrapyard, and once there they get junked rather quickly because of how heavy they are. And I'm going to have to get some different rims because these are Bud split rims. All 6 are like that. Nice little carry box here. Now, other than the winch, this truck had gin poles on it that were like 29 or so feet long, and got them over there with some telephone poles. For my plans on this truck, I'm not quite sure yet. Kind of figured get it running, get it drivable, roadworthy, and maybe make it into a hauler and just pull trailers around with it. Now, one thing I love is this grill guard. I just love these little accessories like this on it. Well, not little, it's quite large. And one thing I plan on doing right quick is take the mirrors off, because every window in this truck is completely broken in some form or fashion, and I want to put a tarp over the cab. And also I'll be taking the emblems off, both fender emblems and hood emblem, because those are kind of hard to find. Plus they're a little pitted, and I'd rather not let them get any worse than they already are. I've already sprayed the screws with WD-40, so hopefully they don't break or anything, but knowing how old these are, there's a possibility. Well, there's number 1. Okay, driver's side's off. Time for the passenger side mirror. And as you can see, this is why I need to put a tarp over the cab. Broken bolt number 2. That works too. Now it's time for the emblems to be taken off. And as I previously mentioned, these are kind of hard to find, so I'm going to stash them away in the shed for safekeeping. Alright. I guess that's the original paint, because I assume this truck has been repainted at one time before. There we go. And more original yellow paint. And finally the hood emblem. Now in here, if it's just a Chevy bow tie logo, that means it was a straight 6 from the factory. If it has this V, that means it was a factory V8 engine. Being a little stubborn. Aha. And there we go. Make sure you get all the bolts and screws back with it. And that does it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.